1. Introduction. My name is Jess, and I am 21 years old. On the outside, my life looks exciting. But really, I live two different lives. During the day, I am a normal university student. I study hard because I want to become a nurse. I want to help people who are sick. My classes are difficult, but I enjoy learning. This is the life I want, but I have another life at night. When I finish my classes, I work as a model. This is my secret. My two worlds are completely separate. I do this work because I have no choice. My family does not have a lot of money, and I need to pay for my school, my small apartment, and my food. Life is very expensive. The modeling work pays well, but it is not easy. It is a world with a lot of pressure. You must always look perfect. I am often tired from studying all day and then working all night. I do not get much sleep. Tonight, I am at a big party for a famous fashion brand. The room is full of beautiful people in expensive clothes. There are bright lights, loud music, and important people everywhere. I am wearing a beautiful dress that is not mine. I have perfect makeup, and my hair looks amazing. When people look at me, they see a confident model. They do not see the tired student who worries about money. I feel like I do not belong here. I smile for the cameras, but inside I feel lonely and out of place. The other people talk about expensive holidays and new cars. I just listen quietly. My reality is very different. I think about the rent I have to pay next week and the books I need for my nursing course. This party is not fun for me. It is just a job. I stand in the middle of this rich, bright world, but my mind is on my simple, difficult life. I know I must be strong to survive. 2. The rich man. The music at the party was very loud. People were laughing and drinking expensive drinks. I tried to look comfortable, but I felt small in the big, bright room. Then I saw him. His name was Tim, and he was a very important man in the fashion world. He was 57 years old and had gray hair. He wore a dark, expensive suit that made him look powerful. He did not smile like the other people at the party. His face was serious, and his eyes were cold. Many other models stood near him. They all wanted his attention. They laughed and tried to look beautiful for him. He did not look at them. His eyes found me across the room. He watched me for a long time. I felt nervous under his gaze. It was like he was studying something, not looking at a person. After a few minutes, he started to walk towards me. He moved slowly and with confidence. The other models watched him go. They looked surprised, and then they looked at me. He walked right past them and stopped in front of me. He was much taller than I was. I had to look up to see his face. He was too close, and I could smell his expensive cologne. "You are Jess," he said. It was not a question. His voice was low and quiet, but I heard it easily over the loud music. I just nodded my head. I could not find my voice to speak. "I will be direct," he continued, his cold eyes never leaving my face. "You have two choices. You can agree to date me. If you do, you will have everything you want. A new car, a beautiful apartment, expensive clothes. The second choice is simple. You can say no. If you say no, I will make sure you never work as a model in this city again." I was completely shocked. I could not move or breathe. My mind went empty. An ultimatum. He was giving me an ultimatum at a party, surrounded by people. I just stared at him. I wanted to run away, but my feet felt like they were stuck to the floor. I looked past his shoulder and saw the other models. They were watching us. They were not looking at me with worry. They looked jealous. Their eyes said I was lucky. They thought this powerful, scary man was a prize. Their envy made me feel even more confused. Was this a good thing? Was this a terrible thing? I did not know what to do. I just stood there, silent and afraid. 3. The first date. I went back to my apartment after the party. My small room was freezing. I did not have enough money to pay for good heating. I sat on my bed and looked around. The walls were empty and the furniture was old. This was my life, studying all day and working all night. I was always tired and always poor. I thought about Tim's words again and again. He gave me a difficult choice. I could say yes to him and have a better life. I could have money, nice clothes, and an easy modeling career. Or I could say no and lose my job. I would have nothing. It was a terrible threat. I was scared of him, but I was also scared of my poverty. I did not sleep that night. My mind was full of questions. Was this the only way? Could I really do this? In the morning, I was still tired, but I made a decision. I could not continue to live like this. I needed help, and he was offering it. My hands were shaking when I picked up my phone. I found his number and called him. When he answered, his voice was cold and deep. "I will do it," I said quietly. "I will date you." He did not sound surprised. He just said, "Good. A car will be there in 1 hour." A big black car arrived exactly 1 hour later. The driver opened the door for me. I never sat in a car like that before. It was clean and smelled like new leather. The driver took me to a very expensive store. Tim was waiting for me inside. He did not smile, but he looked at my old clothes. "We need to buy you something to wear," he said. He chose a beautiful red dress for me. When I put it on, I looked in the mirror. I did not recognize myself. I looked confident and beautiful. Later, we went to a fancy restaurant for dinner. It was the kind of place I only saw in magazines. When we walked in, everyone looked at us. They looked at Tim because he was powerful, and they looked at me because I was with him. In my red dress, I felt like a different person. For the first time, I was not invisible. It was a strange and powerful feeling. Tim ordered expensive food and wine. He talked to me and asked questions about my life. I started to relax. I thought that maybe this could be okay. He was taking care of me. I felt protected, and I wanted to believe he was a good man. 4 good times. The next few weeks were like a dream. Tim and I went on many dates, maybe 2 or 3 every week. We ate at expensive restaurants where the food looked like art on a plate. He took me to see plays in old, beautiful theaters. I wore new dresses that he bought for me. Before I met Tim, my life was gray and difficult. Now, it was full of color and light. He was very charming. He always opened the car door for me and pulled out my chair at dinner. These were small things, but they made me feel important and special. One evening, at a quiet restaurant, he gave me a small blue box. Inside was a delicate gold bracelet. It was simple but very beautiful. "A gift for you, Jess," he said, and he put it on my wrist himself. I never owned real gold before. I felt so happy, but a strange feeling also grew inside me. I knew this gift was not really free. He was good at solving my problems. My old computer for my university classes was very slow and old. I told him about it one night. The next day, a brand new computer arrived at my apartment. I did not ask for it. He just sent it. I was very thankful. I did not have to worry about money for food or my rent anymore. But I started to feel like I owed him something very big. Our time together was not just about talking. He always held my hand when we walked. His hand was big and warm around mine. He often put his arm around my shoulders when we sat together. His touch was nice, but it was also heavy, full of meaning. He listened when I talked about my difficult nursing classes, but his eyes were always on me. He watched my mouth when I spoke. He watched my hands when I moved them. It was a look that made me feel nervous. I knew he was waiting for something more from me. He wanted more than just to hold my hand across a dinner table. I wanted to believe that he was a good man. He was kind to me and made me laugh. I told myself that his intense attention was because he liked me very much. But sometimes, when he looked at me with his dark, serious eyes, I felt a little scared. I felt like a beautiful thing he owned, not a person he knew. At the end of our dates, he always left me at my door with a soft kiss on my cheek. I knew those soft kisses would not last forever. He was a patient man, but he was waiting for more. 5. A big secret. One evening, Tim and I were in his big, expensive car. It was raining outside. The small drops of water hit the windows. The sound was soft and quiet. Inside the car, it was warm and dark. We did not talk much. The city lights passed by the window, making soft colors inside the car. I looked at my hands. I felt a strange feeling in my stomach. It was a mix of excitement and fear. Tim stopped the car on a quiet street. He turned to look at me. His eyes were serious in the dark. He did not say anything for a long time. The silence felt very heavy. He moved closer to me on the leather seat. I could feel the warmth from his body. My heart started to beat very fast. I did not know what to do. He put his hand on my face. His hand was warm and gentle. Then he leaned in and kissed me. His lips were soft. The kiss was long and slow. I closed my eyes. For a moment, I forgot about everything. I forgot about the money and my small, cold room. But then a thought came into my head. It was a secret. It was a big secret, and I needed to tell him. I gently pulled away from the kiss. I could not look at him. I looked down at my dress. "Tim," I said, my voice was just a whisper. "I have to tell you something." He waited. He was very patient. "What is it, Jess?" he asked. His voice was low. I took a deep breath. This was the most difficult part. "I have never been with a man before," I said. "I am a virgin." The car was completely silent. I could only hear the rain and my own heart. I was so scared. I thought he would get angry. Maybe he would laugh at me and tell me I was a child. I waited for him to say something mean, but he did not get angry. He did not laugh. Instead, his eyes opened wide with surprise. A big, real smile came to his face. He looked very happy. He looked like a man who found something very valuable, like a diamond. "A virgin?" he said. His voice was full of delight. "Jess, that is wonderful. You are so special. You are very rare." He touched my face again. His smile made me feel warm inside. My fear started to go away. He leaned in and kissed me again. This time, the kiss was different. It was more passionate, more certain. He held me close. "I will take care of you," he promised. "You are mine to protect." In that moment, in the dark car with the rain outside, I believed him. I trusted him completely. 6, the special night. Tim drove us to the best hotel in the city. The building was very tall and made of shiny glass. Inside, a man in a nice uniform opened the car door for us. We went up in a fast, quiet elevator. The doors opened directly into our room. It was not just a room, it was a suite. It was bigger and more beautiful than my entire apartment building. The windows were huge, from the floor to the ceiling. I could see all the city lights below us, like a carpet of stars. The view was amazing. The suite was full of my favorite white flowers. There were white roses on the big wooden table and tall lilies by the window. The smell was beautiful and sweet. A bottle of expensive champagne was in a silver bucket of ice next to 2 tall, thin glasses. Tim opened the bottle, and the sound was a happy pop. He carefully poured the champagne and gave me a glass. He smiled, and his eyes looked different tonight. They were not cold or controlling. They were warm and kind. He told me I was beautiful in the red dress. He did not talk about my work as a model or the fashion world. He asked about my dreams to become a nurse. He listened carefully to every word I said. For the first time, I felt like he saw the real me, not just a pretty face. I forgot about his ultimatum. I forgot about the money. I only saw a man who wanted to know me, a man who thought I was special. I felt completely safe with him. When he touched my hair, I was not afraid. My heart was beating fast, but it was a good and exciting feeling. I was nervous because it was my first time with a man. He knew this, and he was very gentle and patient. He whispered kind words to me. He made me feel desired and important. I believed that he really cared for me. I thought this was the start of a real, loving relationship, not just a deal. Later, we were quiet. I lay in the big, soft bed with clean white sheets. I put my head on his chest and listened to his heart. It was a strong, steady sound. I closed my eyes and felt his arms holding me. All my problems felt very far away. My cold room, my empty bank account, my loneliness, it was all gone. I was not a poor student anymore. I was a woman in love, and I was loved back. I fell asleep feeling safe and happy. I believed my new life started on this special night. 7. The cold morning. I woke up alone in the big, soft bed. The morning sun was bright in the expensive hotel room, making everything look golden. For a moment, I felt truly happy. I remembered the night before, his arms around me, and I smiled. I believed it was the start of a wonderful new life for me. I turned to look at Tim, expecting to see him sleeping next to me. But his side of the bed was empty and cold. Then I saw him. He was standing far across the room by the big window. He was already completely dressed in his dark business suit. He was not looking at the beautiful city outside. He was looking down at his phone, his thumb moving quickly over the screen. He looked busy and very serious. He did not look like the same gentle man who held me all night. "Tim," I said. My voice was small and quiet in the large room. He turned his head slowly. He looked at me, but his eyes were completely different. Last night, his eyes were warm and full of passion and kindness. Now, they were as cold and empty as a winter sky. The smile was gone from his face. He looked at me like I was a stranger, or maybe an employee he needed to dismiss. It was like he did not know me at all. "You should get dressed," he said. His voice was flat and had no emotion. "The driver is waiting for you downstairs." I just sat up in the bed, the soft sheets around me. I could not understand his words. I watched him walk to the small table next to the bed. He took a thick stack of money from his pocket. He placed it on the polished wood of the table. The sound was not loud, but it felt like a gunshot in the silent room. My heart felt like a heavy stone in my chest. Suddenly, I understood everything perfectly. The flowers, the champagne, his gentle words, it was all part of a game. Last night was not about starting a relationship. It was a simple transaction. He wanted one thing from me, and he got it. Now the deal was finished. The money on the table was my payment. I felt a terrible, hot shame burn my face. I wanted to cry, but the tears would not come. I was completely frozen. He did not look at me again. He turned back to the window and his phone. It was like I was not there anymore. I was invisible again, just like before I met him. I quickly got out of the bed and found my clothes. My hands were shaking so much it was difficult to put them on. I did not look at the money. I did not want to touch it. It felt dirty. I felt dirty. The beautiful room now felt like a cold, expensive prison. He treated me like an object, something he bought and was now finished with. He was throwing me away. I walked to the door without a single word. I opened it and left the room. I did not look back. 8. My new life. For 3 days, I did not leave my small room. I did not eat. I only cried. I looked at the beautiful red dress he bought for me. It was on a chair in the corner. It looked like a costume from a different life. The jewelry was cold and heavy in my hand. I felt so stupid and so used. The world outside was quiet, but my head was very loud. I thought about his cold eyes in the hotel room. I thought about the money on the table. The sadness was a heavy blanket. On the 4th day, I stopped crying. I was tired of feeling weak. I walked to the small mirror in my bathroom and looked at my face. My eyes were red, but I saw something else too. I saw a fire inside them. It was not a big fire, but it was there. He wanted me to be a victim. He wanted me to be silent and sad. I decided I did not want that. I was not just a model. I was a person. I was a student. I was Jess. I opened my old laptop. My hands were shaking, but my heart felt strong. I went to social media and I started to write. I wrote about everything. I wrote about the party and the 2 choices he gave me. I wrote about the expensive dates and how he was always watching me. I wrote about the hotel and the cold morning after. I told the truth about the money he left for me. I did not use his name, but people in the fashion world knew who I was talking about. My story went everywhere online. It was a huge scandal. Many people were shocked. Other models started to share their own stories about him. They were quiet before because they were scared. But now they were not scared. Soon, newspapers wrote about Tim. His name was bad now. He lost his powerful job. He called my phone many times, but I never answered. I had nothing to say to him. My life changed, too. Tim was right about one thing. I lost my modeling career. The phone calls for jobs stopped. Some people said I was brave. Other people said I was a problem. But I did not feel sad about it. A strange peace came to my heart. I took the money from the hotel room. I did not want it, but I decided to use it for something good. I used all of it to pay for my university classes. Now I am a full-time nursing student. I am poor again and my room is still small. But I am free. I walk to my classes with my head high. I do not need expensive clothes or a rich man to feel important. I have my books and my future. I see myself now, and that is enough. I am strong, and I am going to help people. My new life is my own.